Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with another awesome weekend figure review. Today we are going over the Age of Apocalypse Sugarman Build-A-Figure Wave Sunfire. And I have been chomping at the bit to get my hands on this action figure. He is so amazing. So first off, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Nathan. We're both part of a local toy chat. And, we always try to keep an eye out for figures for one another. And he found me this Sunfire. So thank you so much, sir. I am so happy. This is still one of the most definitive designs from the Age of Apocalypse. So as you can see here, you get this beautiful opening, window here. You get the Age of Apocalypse X-Men logo here because they use this for the Astonishing and the Amazing X-Men. And, you get the Marvel Legends, see the Build-A-Figure Sugarman thing. Flip it around here, and I love that they actually use the Age of Apocalypse logo. That is so beautiful. You come around here to the side, and the side art's not too bad. I kind of wish that they would have used something more from the original Age of Apocalypse artwork, and then you see Apocalypse Foreboding in the background. Come around here to the back, you get a nice little product shot. You get the right up, and you get to see the figures that you need to build Sugarman, so I'll make sure to leave a pause so that you guys can, look at these at your convenience. And then you flip it around here to the side, you get that same artwork, which, the more I look at it, it's not too bad. I really do enjoy it. You come back around here to the front, you get that beautiful figure, just looking at it again, you're like, yeah, I can't wait to get this thing out. You look at the bottom, all the legal stuff, who cares? But what we do care about is, even though he looks amazing in the packaging, is Sunfire a really cool figure or not? So let's go ahead and, without further ado, get Sunfire out here and get a closer look at him. So here's Shiro Yoshida out of the packaging and just looking absolutely fantastic. The Age of Apocalypse Sunfire is probably my definitive favorite look for the character. I know they tried to kind of bring it into the 616 universe, and it didn't last, which I kind of wish it had, because this design was just so flipping beautiful. You know what I mean, guys? And what I meant to mention just a few moments ago, if you want to get this character, I saw he was sold out on Big Bad Toy Store, but he's for pre-sale both on Megaopolis City of Collectibles and Hasbro Pulse. But first and foremost, please always check with your local comic shop first to see if they can't get it ordered for you first. But, if you don't have that option where you're at, then at least you know where you can go get him online. Because this is one character you definitely want to get in your collection. And just seeing him up on the spinner and posed, just an absolutely phenomenal figure, everyone. And I'd love to hear everyone's feedback down in the comments below, because when I got this one, I was jumping for joy. So let's go ahead and get Sunfire off the stand and get a closer look at this absolutely wonderful character. So other than the Sugarman Build-A-Figure piece, Sunfire does not come with any other accessories, which is kind of like, come on. But, because I would have loved to seen some, like removable fire pieces or, like fire blasts that you can add to his hand and whatnot. That would have been cool. Or like even have like a stand that's like a flame, kind of like, they do with the Dragon Ball characters and whatnot. That would have been really cool. But I'm pretty sure that was nixed because of cost. That's just me assuming, but you figure that probably takes a lot more to build. So, we'll go ahead and skip over the accessory part for this accessory and kind of go over some backstory on the Earth 295 Sunfire's backstory. So his first appearance, I understand, is Astonishing X-Men #1, which is the part of the Age of Apocalypse event where Xavier died in the past by his son, Legion. Spoiler warnings. And at that point, when we get into the main timeline, Apocalypse is taken over the world. Now, from what I understand, is I thought that he was kind of a ghost when I first read this, because if you read Astonishing X-Men #4, you kind of see how Shiro tried to save Japan, and you see, I think it's Apocalypse. He's being held by what's his name, Nemesis, that becomes Holocaust, and then Apocalypse drowns him. So I thought he died and kind of came back as a fire ghost, but that, from what I understand, is incorrect. I kind of looked it up, and I guess after all that happened, he was taken to Dark Beast, because in this universe, Dark Beast works for Apocalypse, and he's, still a geneticist and eugenicist and all that stuff. But what he tries to do is he pushes mutants' powers to the max. So I guess in this point, you know, Shiro, his powers got amped up to the point where he's constantly on fire and kind of in pain to an extent. Because if you really, again, go back to Astonishing X-Men #4, he's actually able to be extinguished by Rogue, and it's a rough scene. So I guess the X-Men save him, and this look that we see here with the black, this is like a containment suit, so he doesn't just go full supernova. So yeah, the Age of Apocalypse, very, very dark book, but still one of the pinnacle, like, you know, events of Marvel. Definitely check it out, guys, if you haven't. I did some reviews on the comics, and then the page went down because of technical errors. Lost those videos, so I will try to get those comics back up. But in the meantime, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the paint apps on Sunfire, because I like that Hasbro really made sure to capture the essence of this figure, because he was a fan favorite. And, you know, the design, in essence, was super simple, because, I mean, it was just flames with his mask, you know, and I love that, you know, it has the Japan sun there. And just, I love how they really, really made it look like, you know, like a skull kabuki mask here. Just really forms really well on the face, and you get the nice orange eyes. And I love the flames. You know, got the yellow all through it, the orange. And I really, really just love how they just did these plating here, especially like for me. I like how each character in Age of Apocalypse kind of had like this metal rim around their chest. And it usually goes all the way around like on a Magneto. But you can't see it here on the fire. Sadly, these don't come off like the Human Torch. That's kind of sad, so you can't readjust them and whatnot. Love the armbands. And I just like that it's clear enough that you can't really see where the joints and the pegs interlace. The only place you can really see that is on the feet, and we'll get there in a second. Just wanted to show, I like how the back here has this nice little spine effect to it. You know, thighs. As you can see, there's no real paint blemishes. I mean, there's a few chips here or there, like right here, but, you know, that's nothing to snuff about. It's all good. And then come down, like the knee pads. Just, I really like this because it looks like bandaging to an extent too, so that's really nice. And see on the feet, that's the only place where you can kind of see where the joints are. So, you know, you're not really gonna bother too much about that. And I love the fist hands. I love the flames. I love how they just really decided to just go full on in detail about that. Just looks absolutely wonderful. And just the mixtures of, you know, the yellow with the orange, and then like a little bit sparingly, you know, there's only real red is his mask. Everything else is just yellow and orange, and when as you can see it hit and reflect off the light, just really great look all around. So yeah, the 295 Sunfire is definitely one of my favorite characters, and as you can see, the paint apps just spectacular overall, and as you can see under the lights, just great stuff. And, you know, you get some nice high lumen lights to hit them with, and, you know, turn off the lights, you're gonna get some really great reflection. So let me see if I can do that real quick for you guys. Let me grab one of my big lights, kill this one, and see when you kind of get a really nice bright, like this one shoots at 1,000 lumens. Look at that, guys. That is absolutely superb. So that's gonna look great for any type of collector that does toy photography, or if you have any type of lamp that you want to put them on a shelf, you're gonna get a great look here of Shiro Yoshida as the Sunfire in the Age of Apocalypse. Now for the articulation, he is super bendy as well. So we'll start with the head. You know, you can look down that much, and because of the flame effects, not too bad. You can get him to look about that high up, and then of course you can always, you know, get that nice little head bob there. And he kind of has a little bit of a head tilt there, which is really nice. And kind of get more of a focus here because I feel like he's getting a little too blurry. And then even with those flames on his back, you can get him to look that much that way, and about that much that way. So that's awesome. Love that range of motion on the head. The ab crunch can get pretty far down, which I love. Same on the back. Ab crunch about that far back. Waist swivels, so yay. And then his arms can go out this much, and then if you spin the little pivot and get it that high up for some really great flying effects. He does have the upper arm swivel, so 360 on both sides. Wrists can spin 360 as well, so whoop, whoop, whoop. And get a little bit closer up so you guys can look at that while I'm doing it. And focus. The only thing that's kind of a downfall is even though he does have his wrist articulation, so, you can go down that far, and then, you still got the joint there, but the downfall is because of these flames on the top of the hands, you can't really go that far up. That's the only thing I hate when they put that fire on the wrists. It really hinders going up. So that's probably the only strike I have against it. So still, great movement on the hands. His legs kick out that far forward, about that far back, not too bad. And thankfully Hasbro's learning double jointed knees. And before I forget and get him straightened out, double jointed elbows. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these older Marvel Legends, when they still have those single jointed joints, it's like, oh, come on, we still can't get that range of motion. Come on, man. And then the legs can go about that far. Not too bad. He's got upper thigh cuts, so get fancy there. He's also got boot cuts, so whoop whoop. Got good stuff going on there. Feet can go that much forward, all the way down for great flying effects. And of course, thankfully, ankle pivots, so we are good to go on that. So as you can see, a very, very nice articulated figure there, guys. And even with all these flame stuff on his shoulders, like, how like with a lot of big-haired characters like Rogue, Storm, and characters of that nature, especially Polaris, it's hard to get their heads to tilt backwards. So I'm glad that even though he has all this going on in the back, you still get a great range of motion on the head. The only downfall in this particular instance is the flames on the top of the wrists, because you can't pull it all the way up for a fire shooting. You have to play with the arm to kind of get that illusion. So hopefully they'll kind of learn from that, because the Johnny Storm has the same problem. But still, no real complaints here. Wonderful, wonderful articulation. So for some comparisons to Sunfire, here's the only other Earth 295 Age of Apocalypse figure that I currently have. This is the Caliban Build-A-Figure Wave Blink. I love this figure. And then just to kind of switch it up, even though this is not the Age of Apocalypse version Rogue, this is the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave, one that is so hard to find. I'm so glad that I finally hunted this one down, but it took probably a good year and a half to finally find this one. But as you can see, Shiro looks great, whether what universe you want to put him in, whether it's the 616 main universe or the 295 Desolate Apocalypse universe. Speaking of which, if we really want to get fancy about this, let me do another Border House reach, and let's put the antagonist of this in the mix. Make sure he's going to stand, and just look at how Apocalypse here dominates these characters. But just for some size comparisons, that looks absolutely amazing. And that's what I meant by no matter who you team Sunfire up with or who you're going to pit him against, these characters look so well together. And I'm so happy that I have Sunfire, because again, I remember reading the Age of Apocalypse, God, how old was I? I was probably like 11, and I was like, what is this? This is a great read. And that was actually what got me back into X-Men comics, because there for a while I was sort of like, kind of dipped out for a while, and that's what launched me back in hardcore. So yeah, if you guys have not read the Age of Apocalypse, as I said, it is definitely one of those, like, the pinnacles of X-Men reading. And even when they were doing the House of X stuff, they were talking about like milestones. The Age of Apocalypse was like smack dab in the center. Then of course we got in the House of X and Powers of 10, which was a great event. I'll make sure you get those videos up again. But we're not talking comics right now. We are talking about these awesome action figures, and just taking a moment to look at them like this, guys. So beautiful. I hope that eventually, because like I know with this one they're doing the Sugar Man Build-A-Figure Wave, it'd be so cool if we get like a Holocaust one, and then like a Cyclops and an Age of Apocalypse Magneto. I know right now for on pre-order I have Morph and Wild Child. I can't wait to get those too, but Sunfire was definitely, when I saw this wave, I was like, that one. Oh yes, please, this one. So again, guys, as you can see, the scaling just looks great. Apocalypse towering over all of them, so great proportional sets here. So again, beautiful figures. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. So overall, I am thoroughly pleased with this figure. I feel like Hasbro really did a great job in doing a rendition of the Age of Apocalypse Sunfire. The paint apps are great. As you can see, there's no real blemishes on it. It's really nice and reflectant with the light. He's super posable, and he scales well with all the figures. So guys, if you are a huge X-Men fan or a huge Age of Apocalypse fan, this is the figure for you. So with that said, before you guys leave, please make sure to stick around till the end. I will have a photo slideshow of Sunfire doing some really cool, poses with photography alongside some other really cool characters. And if you guys have enjoyed this figure, first and foremost, as I said earlier, please make sure to support your local comic shop. If not, then check out the other entities that I said in the beginning of this review. And if you guys have enjoyed this review, we definitely appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps the club channel more than you guys could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little X bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, then you guys will get notified. You can come to the channel, and we love having a dialogue and hearing your feedback down in the comments below, or you can hit us up on our social media sites, which I will also leave the links down in the description below. So with all that said, I hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.